Welcome back to the channel. Tonight we're traveling to Salem, Massachusetts, a quiet coastal town that hides one of the darkest chapters in American history. In 1692, fear, superstition, and hysteria turned neighbor against neighbor. What followed was a series of witch trials that ended with the deaths of innocent people. The ground of Salem is soaked in real tragedy, and to this day, many believe those restless spirits still haunt the town. Part 1. How it began. It started in January 1692, in the home of Reverend Samuel Parris. Two young girls, Betty Parris, 9, and Abigail Williams, 11, began to act strangely. They screamed, contorted their bodies, and claimed invisible spirits were pinching and choking them. Doctors couldn't find any physical illness. Instead, they declared it was the work of witchcraft. The frightened community demanded answers. Under pressure, the girls accused 3 women: Tituba, an enslaved woman from the Parris household; Sarah Good, a homeless beggar; Sarah Osborne, an elderly woman who rarely attended church. These 3 women became the first accused witches of Salem. Part 2. The witch hunt grows. The fear spread like wildfire. Soon more girls claimed they were afflicted. Every strange illness, every argument, every misfortune was blamed on witches. Neighbors accused neighbors. Children accused their parents. Even respected members of the church were not safe. Within months, over 200 people were accused of practicing witchcraft. The trials were brutal. The court accepted spectral evidence, meaning if someone claimed, "I saw your spirit tormenting me in a dream," that alone was enough to convict. This wasn't just superstition, it became a weapon. Old feuds, jealousy, and fear fueled the accusations. Part 3. The executions. Between June and September 1692, 20 innocent people were executed. 19 were hanged at a place now known as Gallows Hill. One man, Giles Corey, was pressed to death with heavy stones after refusing to enter a plea. His last words were said to be, "More weight." Most of the victims were women, but men were accused too. One of the youngest accused was a 4-year-old girl, Dorothy Good, who was imprisoned for months and traumatized for life. The condemned were not witches. They were farmers, midwives, churchgoers, ordinary people destroyed by fear. Part 4. The aftermath and real hauntings. By October 1692, the madness began to fade. Public opinion turned against the trials. The governor eventually stopped the executions, and years later, courts admitted the trials had been a terrible mistake. But by then, the damage was done. Dozens were dead, families ruined, and Salem forever scarred. Today, visitors report strange activity at the historic sites. Gallows Hill is said to carry an unnatural silence. At the old Salem jail, people report footsteps, cold spots, and cries of anguish. Even in the cemeteries where some victims are buried, tourists claim to feel watched or touched by unseen hands. Some say these spirits remain trapped, seeking justice that never came. The Salem witch trials were not ghost stories. They were real. Real people lost their lives because of fear, ignorance, and hysteria. And that's what makes Salem one of the most haunted places in America. Because history reminds us, the scariest monsters are not ghosts or witches. They are people, driven by fear, willing to destroy each other. So the next time you walk the streets of Salem, remember, the past is still there, watching, waiting, whispering through the shadows.